Welcome to Purpose Driven Millionaire. Today we enter a conversation about keys. Not the kind of keys that unlock doors of wood or stone, but the golden keys of sovereignty. These luminous frequencies that live within your very being. These are the keys that open the gateways of wealth, of power, and of eternal legacy. And across the temples of the ancient world, keys were never just tools. They were symbols of passage. They marked initiation, transition, remembrance. In the sanctuaries of old, the one who carried the key was entrusted with mystery. They held access not only to chambers of stone, but to the chambers of the soul. And so it is with you. Within you lives a treasury of golden keys, waiting to be remembered, waiting to be placed into your hand. There is a mantra that has been alive in my field, and I want to begin here with you. I hold the key. Devotion becomes power. Power becomes art, and wealth flows eternal. This is not simply a phrase. It is an activation, a remembrance, because wealth in its truest form responds to devotion. And when you devote yourself to your frequency, to the beauty of your work, to the resonance of your voice, something awakens. That devotion crystallizes into power. And that power, it refines itself into art. And that art becomes magnetic, drawing towards you wealth that is not fleeting, but sovereign. We're not speaking of wealth as accumulation or a combination of transactions. We're speaking of wealth as eternal flow, a current that has always been within you, waiting for you to step into its river. In this transmission, I want to share with you 3 keys that have continually revealed themselves on my own path. 3 living frequencies that, when embodied, open doors to wealth in its most sovereign expression. Devotion as power, power as art, wealth as eternal flow. So I invite you now to settle in, breathe, feel your feet upon the earth, and imagine yourself holding a key, heavy, golden, alive in your hand. And today, we remember how to use it. The first key, devotion as power. Power awakens through devotion. When you live in devotion, you are rooted in presence. Every breath, every gesture, every choice becomes an offering. Devotion is not something added to your day. It is the way you walk through the day itself. It is the way you tend to what is sacred within you and around you. And devotion is the pulse that steadies your path. It is that quiet rhythm of alignment that guides you again and again into the truth of who you are. In devotion, your being becomes attuned to the eternal, and from this attunement, a current of power begins to flow. And this is the mystery of devotion. It is complete in itself, and through that completeness, it creates resonance. It is a quiet force that expands strength from within. It carries the sacred as its natural essence, needing nothing added, holding within it a very vibration for power to arise. And as you walk in devotion, power reveals itself. Power that arises because it is already within you. It is the natural radiance of a life lived in alignment. And it is presence becoming strength. This is the first key. Devotion as power. And when you embody this frequency, your path gains weight and clarity. Your work carries resonance that cannot be denied. And your voice becomes a vessel, and your presence is a sanctuary. Devotion awakens the current of power within you. And once awakened, that current flows without end. And so how does that live in the rhythm of your life and in your business? Devotion may unfold as beginning your day in communion, lighting a candle, speaking a mantra or affirmation, writing words that open your heart before you open your inbox. It is the rhythm of choosing presence before productivity, essence before execution. It is the moment when you allow your words to stream forth from your soul, carrying the weight of truth rather than shaping them to please a trend. And it is creating an offering because it sings through you, because it feels like your highest art, because it wants to exist through you. In business, devotion is the tending of the sacred fire. It is returning again and again to the practices that ground you, the rituals that remind you the essence that fuels you. It is less about the mechanics of growth and more about the fertility of the soil, the inner richness that allows everything to root and flourish. And when you move from this space, your very presence begins to shimmer with magnetism. Clients sense it before they even meet you. Partners feel it in the cadence of your voice. And wealth arrives in resonance with it, flowing not as a transaction, but as recognition. Devotion is the soil from which sovereignty rises, the foundation upon which art, wealth, and legacy are built. And when you live in this current, the days take on a different texture. They carry this sacred steadiness. Actions feel aligned. Choices feel guided. And each movement feels like a prayer in motion. This is the first key. Devotion is power. The golden current that roots you, steadies you, and prepares every part of your being for the magnificence of what is to come. The second key, power as art. Power refines itself as art. It blossoms with the quiet inevitability of sunrise, luminous and complete. Power moves as beauty in your words, in the cadence of your breath, in the gestures of your body, in the energy field that surrounds you. And when power is lived as art, your life becomes a living tapestry. Each conversation, a brushstroke. Each offering, a sculpture. Each choice, a movement in a symphony that carries your signature frequency. Your leadership, your presence, your being all weave together as a gallery of soul expressed through form. Art is the essence revealed. It is the radiance that pours from within and shapes the outer world into harmony with its vibration. And as power becomes art, it emanates with the glow of refinement, unmistakable and magnetic, calling all who encounter it into resonance. In this radiance, pathways open, alignments unfold, and clients gather, guided by the beauty of your frequency. Opportunities arrive as if choreographed by something greater, flowing into your field with natural precision. Each encounter, each collaboration is drawn not by an explanation, but by recognition of beauty, truth, and ascended mastery embodied. This is the second key, power as art. The art of living in such fullness of expression that your very being becomes devotion in motion, and the world arranges itself in response to the harmony that you carry. And so how does this breathe into your work? Power as art reveals itself in the way your words shimmer with resonance, alive, soulful, carrying the frequency of truth. It lives in the energy field of your creations, a website that feels like entering a sanctuary, a space where beauty itself states its welcome. It flows through the way a client departs from your presence, expanded, illuminated, carrying within them something they did not arrive with. Power as art is elegance woven into form. It is refinement expressed through the smallest details, through the textures of your choices, and through the cadence of your presence. It is resonance translated into beauty, the kind of beauty that cannot be staged, only emanated. Imagine your life as the canvas, each choice a paint stroke, each offering a color that deepens the landscape, each conversation a texture that gives dimension. Over time, the image that emerges is unmistakably yours, a masterpiece painted by devotion, lived as power, remembered as art. And when this frequency moves through your business, every interaction becomes more than an exchange. It becomes a ceremony. Each program, each post, Each offering is an altarpiece, illuminated with intention, shimmering with the truth of your essence. And your work ceases to resemble tasks and begins to resemble devotion made visible. This is the second key. Power revealed as art. Power lived as radiance. Power expressed as beauty that uplifts all who encounter it. And when you hold it, you no longer wonder how the world will respond. The world is already responding, drawn to the living gallery of who you are. The third key, wealth as eternal flow. Wealth is not a destination you arrive at. Wealth is a current, a living river of resonance that has always been moving through you. It is in the fabric of your essence, the vibration beneath your breath, the rhythm in your heart. When devotion crystallizes into power and power refines itself into art, wealth appears as the natural flowering of that current, as presence, as an eternal inheritance. Wealth is remembrance. Wealth is eternity. Wealth is the divine echo of your sovereignty made visible. This is the third key, wealth as eternal flow. And how does this reveal itself in the rhythm of your life and business? It reveals itself when a client meets your work and feels the unmistakable recognition, not of your price, but of your resonance. They say yes with ease because your frequency has already spoken to them long before words were exchanged. It reveals itself when money arrives when you are resting, traveling, or creating elsewhere, because the energy of your offerings continues to circulate on its own, carrying your essence across time and space. It reveals itself when the programs you created months or even years ago are still purchased, still alive, and still drawing people in. Not because of algorithms or marketing cycles, but because they were born as living art, infused with timeless frequency. Wealth as eternal flow is not bound by transactions, calendars, or conditions. It is the river beneath the river, the song beneath the song, the wellspring that can never run dry. It declares, you are source. The flow is endless. And when you embody this frequency, the relationship to wealth shifts entirely. There is only the knowing, I am the current. Wealth is the natural expression of my being. And from this place, overflow becomes the only rhythm. You live in expansion and circulation and the joy of watching wealth flow in, through, and beyond you. Your life becomes an altar to abundance, your innate birthright. That is the third key, wealth as eternal flow. And when you hold it, wealth ceases to be a pursuit and it becomes your natural state. And now, let us not just speak about these keys, but enter them, embody them, and become them. So close your eyes if you are able. And just allow the outside world to soften. Inhale deeply, filling your belly, your chest, your crown. And then exhale and feel your body melt into the ground beneath you. With each breath, feel yourself becoming both grounded and elevated. Your feet anchored into the earth, your spine as a column of light, and your crown opening to the infinite. And before you, a golden table begins to appear, ancient, timeless, carved with symbols that seem to shimmer and shift as though alive. This is not just a table, it is an altar. And upon it, resting in perfect stillness, are three luminous keys. The first is the key of devotion. Reach out and lift it into your hands. It's warm, steady, and alive. Notice the way it anchors you. Feel how it resonates with the rhythm of sacred practice, the pulse of your rituals, the whisper of your prayers. And this key carries the vibration of presence, the knowing that every quiet act, every breath of reverence, every moment you honor what is holy within you, weaves power into your life. And let this key settle into your body, becoming cellular awareness. Feel devotion becoming the ground beneath you. The second is the key of power. I want you to lift it now. It shimmers with artistry, elegance, refinement. And just notice how it feels. It's not heavy, not sharp, but it's luminous, graceful, like a brush dipped in gold. And as you hold it, see your own life unfold as art. See your words painting colors in the air. See your work sculpting beauty that was waiting to emerge. And see your very essence radiating with such clarity that it changes the atmosphere around you. This key carries the frequency of living mastery, of power expressed as beauty, of leadership expressed as art. And allow this key to awaken your own refinement, your own resonance, your own artistry. And now, the key of wealth. It illuminates before you even touch it. It vibrates with an endless current, a frequency that has no beginning and no end. And lift it. Feel the pulse of eternity flowing through your hands. This is the current that has always lived within you, the flow of wealth, of abundance, of sovereign legacy. And notice how natural it feels. And notice how familiar. Wealth is not something arriving, it is something remembered. And with this key, step into the frequency that has always been yours. Let it run through your body, illuminating your heart, imprinting your cells, and emanating through your lineage. Now with a deep inhale, hold all three keys together. Feel their energies weaving, merging, fusing into one radiant golden key. This is the key of sovereign wealth. It shines brighter than the sun, and it vibrates with eternity. This is you connected to Source. And it belongs to you because it has always been yours. And bring this key to your heart. Just hold it there. And then feel it click into place, like a lock finding its home. And the key is no longer in your hand. It's within you. It's forever sealed, and it is forever sovereign. And now, softly within yourself, speak the mantra aloud or in silence. I hold the key. Devotion becomes power. Power becomes art. Wealth flows eternal. And let these words echo through you, weaving into your breath, into your cells, into your field. It is sealed. It is sovereign. It is yours. And so the keys are now yours. The key of devotion, alive as power. The key of power, refined as art. And the key of wealth, it just flows eternal. Carry them with you into each breath, each choice, each creation. And let them live not only in your hands, but in your body, your business, and your legacy. And notice how the world responds when you walk as the keeper of sovereign wealth, when every step becomes both ceremony and creation. This is the path of the purpose-driven millionaire, a path of resonance, of remembrance, of eternal flow. Here, wealth is art in motion. Here, devotion becomes the language of power. Here, your legacy becomes inevitable because it is lived as frequency. If this transmission has stirred something awake within you, I invite you to step deeper into the sanctuary of the Purpose-Driven Millionaire membership. Together, we gather in sacred rhythm to receive transmissions, anchor activations, and embody wealth as both frequency and inheritance. Your place is here. Your seat is waiting. And join me again for the next unfolding of Purpose-Driven Millionaire, where another key, another doorway, another revelation of sovereign wealth will come alive. Until then, carry this mantra as your own living seal. I hold the key. Devotion becomes power. Power becomes art, and wealth flows eternal. It is sealed. It is sovereign. It is yours.